Question everything in pursuit of your purpose. Ask yourself, what if?
Well, everybody, thank you guys for joining us this morning for another episode of Pursuit of Purpose. I'm Robbie. This is Chuck. And today we have with us a very special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us a little bit about himself.
All right, man. So I'm DJ Man, kindergartner, but everybody knows me as DJ Man. I'm the owner of DJ Mann TV, and that's where we do like original content. We provide exclusive shows on our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Everything from like documentaries to podcasts to web shows like food reviews and so on and so on.
So when you say that, you don't just serve your own productions, you actually help other people build their.
Correct. A lot of people come to us with ideas and want to do podcasts, and so we kind of help them bring it into fruition.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very good.
And if you have a podcast already, and you're looking to, get to a wider audience, that's something else that we provide.
I might know somebody,
I might be able to help.
All right. So, where would people find you at if they wanted to use your services and do business with you?
Well, you can definitely hit us on Facebook at DJ Mann TV. There's DJ Mann with 2 N's, or on Instagram, DJ Mann with 2 N's, DJ Mann TV with 2 N's. Or you can hit the Gmail. That's djmantv@gmail.com. Everything is DJ Mann TV.
Very good. And how long have you been doing that?
Officially since 2017.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We're fairly new to the game.
Well, that's not that new. In this industry, you are an established quantity, an entity at this point.
Yeah, we're creeping up on 10 years here. So
that's impressive.
Yeah,
that is. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of fortitude to last that long in a business driven by social media and technology.
Yeah, man.
That's impressive.
Yeah, we had a lot of adapting to do, man, because this journey started way back in 2007, actually, but it became a business in 2017.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, where'd you grow up?
I grew up on the north side of Beaumont. North side of Beaumont. That's born and raised.
So, what was your childhood like? Did you in your home? Did you have both parents there?
Yes. Yeah, I had my mom and dad, and me and my little sister. I grew up with a not what you see on TV type family nowadays. A lot of times you see a lot of broken homes in the hood. I didn't have that story. My grandparents helped all the families inside our family, right? So that was kind of like the hub. Everyone came to my grandparents' house, and they showed us everything about life, man. They provided opportunities for us. My grandpa is such an amazing man. He had his own business. He had a mechanic shop, an apartment complex, and a car dealership. Yeah, he owned at the apartment complex. All of the relatives that didn't have a job or whatever, we got to stay there. So at one point in time, we stayed there while my father was trying to get a job. And we learned how to work at the mechanic shop and how to do basically CPA work, man. We learned how to keep the books and how to check inventory, how to, do everything, man. So it was a nice training facility, I guess, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, at different times, I wanted to be different things, man. I remember wanting to be an astronaut as a young kid. At one point in time, I just knew I was going to end up in the NFL, and then I wanted to be something like my father and my grandpa. My dad is he's a hard worker, and I think he probably has one of the craziest work ethics I've ever seen, man. So does my grandpa. He was a business owner.
Right.
So I think I wanted to be like a business owner somewhere. I didn't know exactly what I would be doing, but that was the road I wanted to try.
Some kind of entrepreneur.
I'm kind of entrepreneur. Yeah.
How many siblings were you home? How many?
It was just me and my little sister.
You got one little sister.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. 7 years younger than me, man. So
Wow.
Yeah. 7 years younger than me, and my mom worked nights. So it was a lot of times me and my sister would be there because my dad would be asleep. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
Yeah, it'd be me and her there trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Y'all close?
Yeah, very close. I don't think it's a brother or sister out there closer than me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is.
Does she work with you in your business at all?
No, she definitely does not, and I think it's better that way. I think it's better that way, and only because as much as we were close, our ideology isn't the same. So we probably want the same results, but the road to get there is way different. Yeah, she have her own way of doing things. I have mine, and we just respect each other's differences.
Well, I'll tell you what, and you and I, we haven't known each other very long, and I have really enjoyed your conversational style and the way you think when you express yourself.
Appreciate it.
It's very impressive. And
Thank
what age did you leave home?
Ooh, I was
You don't have to be perfect, just
Yeah,
give
no.
or take.
I think I was about 19 when I left.
All right, very good. Did you go to college or anything like that?
Yes, I went to Lamar. I actually graduated from I got an associate's from Lamar, and then I got I got associates from Vista also.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So 2 associate's degrees. What are those degrees in?
Business administration and marketing and promotion. Yeah.
Perfectly fitting. Look at what you chose.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, how far into your life did you know you were gonna? When was it in your life that you knew you were gonna pursue this path? I know that you said that in 2017 is when you started this.
Yeah.
But you knew before that this is what you wanted, I would guess.
Man, so in college, what I was living a very different life at one point in time, headed down a totally wrong way of living. And man, I had recently got married. I have 2 kids. And tell you what happened. I knew I wanted to do something different. I knew that I needed to teach my kids something different. I knew that I felt like I was dropping the ball because, I wasn't raised how I was living, and I felt responsible for teaching my kids through my actions, what I was doing. So one day, man, my wife made a phone call, and I thank her for this, but at the time, I was hot. I was hot, man, because she made a phone call to get me enrolled in college, and I'm asleep, and at the time, man, I was hustling all day, all night. At this particular morning, I just decided to sleep late. Normally, I'm up at around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I decided to sleep late, man. She hit me with the phone and was like, "Here, people want to talk to you." I'm like, "Who?" And she was like, "Lamar." For what? So I get on the phone and they're talking about enrollment. They all excited and stuff. Man, I look at her with this look like, how in the world you just make a decision for me? You know, how you make a decision for me, man? But I end up going and enrolling, finishing, and I often thank her because that was the turning point in my life. That's what made me realize I can do something different, and it kind of brought me back into realizing who I am and what my family is about, and that was the tradition that I wanted to keep going. And it made me realize you do have options, man. Because one of the things, I don't mean to be too long winded, but one of the things that happened with me, man, I had a felony charge, and I didn't have any opportunity on a job. I couldn't do nothing, man. It seemed like nothing was going for me, and I even had a job where I was well qualified for this job, and man, you don't know how. I was just talking about this last night on the Man a Better Life podcast on DJ Mann TV. How deflating that is when you have been struggling so long and then you finally get an opportunity to have a job because you qualified, you could do this easy, and they tell you that you're hired, and you're like, man, life is gonna change. This is it. We on our way, and then you get to work on the first day, and then they be like, I'm sorry, but we can't hire you because your background check.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm not even convicted. I'm on felony probation. It's like, as soon as my probation term is over, the conviction to go away. And they're like, yeah, we can't hire you. So now it's back to the streets. It's like you got to do whatever is working. So I kind of got stuck in that mentality, and her, helping me get back into college helped me remember, like, hey, there is an opportunity. You can do something. Yeah.
Wow. So you give credit to her for
Man, I give credit.
pushing you.
Yeah. My
to
wife
help
is
you.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How long have y'all been married?
Oh, it'll be 10 years in September.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Notice this.
Let me coach you on that a little bit.
Okay.
We've asked this question to many married men,
Yeah.
and we've learned the secret to this.
Okay.
See, you can remember the year you got married, right?
Uh-huh.
So what we do is we tell them, well, we got married in, or I've been married since, and you just say the year.
I got you.
And then, because I know how I am,
Yeah.
I'll say about this many years.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can get myself in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've been through that too.
But I remember a year.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we'll let the audience do the math.
But you did well, 10 years. That's good.
10 years.
You remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very
You
good.
have children?
We do. We got 2 kids. Man, it's something special about us meeting, right?
Yeah.
So we met at a job that I wasn't supposed to get. She didn't really want the job, but she needed some work, so she went and started working a job that she really didn't want to be at. So we met in our training class.
Really?
Yeah, and we got married on the day that we met, because for me, that was the day that changed everything for me. My life took a whole different direction on that day.
So you got married on the anniversary of the day you met?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That is
beautiful.
Yep.
So how long were y'all together before you got married? Estimate. You don't have to be perfect. And she can't be mad at you if you don't remember this part.
Because this is
I'm gonna defend you if you get in trouble. Okay.
I got you. I appreciate it. So I think
At least 1 year.
about 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
About 3 years.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, but we were friends. We were friends first, so it wasn't a full 3 years. Like, my wife was a real friend to me from the beginning, almost too good to be true. I didn't want to be in a relationship because it seemed like it was too good to be true. Like, there's no way you're this kind of a person,
Yeah.
man. And so I ran from it for a long time because I just felt like it was too good to be true. But yeah, man. So I say we probably were friends for a year and a half, and then we dated for about a year and a half. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. It's amazing to me. He and I deal with a lot of people in a lot of different walks of life. And something that we discovered, or at least I've discovered, is that the best relationships seem to have developed seemingly accidentally.
Yes.
I don't believe in accidents, and I don't believe in coincidence.
Exactly.
But it seems that as soon as we stop trying or stop pushing to find a relationship,
Yeah.
the right one presents itself.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like you had happened.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something else.
Go for it.
A lot of people might not believe this, but it's true. So when I was in the 6th grade, man, I had this dream that I was on poolside somewhere. Like, I don't even know where the place was, but we're at like an apartment pool. And as I look back, there's a young light-skinned lady laying on a little lounge seat with the little poolside seat.
Yeah.
And it's like panning on a movie, like a movie camera. So
Yeah.
like it kind of just scroll up to the legs, and I see her legs and everything, but then I never get to see her face, right? So then that was one dream, but it never left me alone. I remembered it. So then I had another dream where I was sitting on the couch. I was sitting on the floor in front of a couch, my back resting against the couch.
Right.
And there's a young lady sitting behind me, laying on the couch in some gray sweatpants with a hoodie on. And once again, it pans up the leg all the way up, and then it stops right before it gets to her face, right? And one day, man, I'm sitting on the floor at our apartment, and she got these gray sweatpants on with my gray hoodie, and I'm looking at her in the same direction, man. I start from the foot and I grow up, and I'm like, You heard. That's my wife.
The girl of your dreams.
The girl of my dreams. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, man. True story.
What'd she think when you told her that?
She like, you playing? I'm like, nah, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Yeah. And I was horrible in relationships, right? I was horrible in relationships, man. I couldn't. I got relationships got old to me real quick. Like I could be all into you for about 2 weeks, and then one day I just be like, I'm not doing this. Like this is like, what was I thinking? But ever since me and her met, man, she the only girl that just haven't been like nerve wracking to me. You know, like it's never a still moment. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. So shout out to my
Isn't
wife.
that interesting how, for whatever reason, all those previous relationships, there was a moment of turn off.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you were being denied all of those
Yeah.
because that one door was already open.
Yeah.
Of which you dreamt about, or at least the dream was given to you.
Yeah.
And you remembered it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, think of the thousands of dreams that you have, but those two stuck.
Man,
You know?
God works with me through dreams and other things, but He'll give me certain dreams, man. That I rarely ever dream for one, and sometimes I dream, but then it's nothing, and then some dreams it just constantly plays over and over in my mind, and I know it's for something, and it never fails. Every time I have a dream like that, and it just stays with me, it's a reason, and it always comes to pass. So
That's amazing. It's I mean, it's great that you realize it. That gives you a little bit of an advantage rather than just waiting on the seemingly coincidental occurrence. Now, you said you want to give a shout out to your wife.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and do that? Let everybody know who she is.
Okay.
And tell her what she means to you.
Okay. Well, shout out to my wife, Bree Garner. Love you, baby. Me and her talk all the time, so she know how I feel, man. Like
That's good.
Yeah, that's my everything.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, that is beautiful. So
It wouldn't be no DJ Man TV with her. I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for her. I think she really came in to save my life. So,
well, I hope to meet her one day.
you will.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah, she sounds like an amazing lady.
Yeah. She was actually, I don't know if you remember, but she was the young lady, the light-skinned lady that worked the door at the Unity Conference.
Okay, I do remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my wife.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So we've covered how you got into your business. We've covered your growing up. You're getting through college now with your wife. How many kids do you guys have?
2.
And genders?
A boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl. How old are they?
My daughter is 19. My son is 16. He'll be 17 in September.
19 and 16, almost 17.
Yeah.
So how are they progressing? What's it looking like for them moving out?
Okay. that story there is something else, man. So my daughter is that's my sidekick.
Okay.
She's spoiled rotten though. So I told her she got to 25.
Okay.
I told her she got to 25. She's working on going to college in August. She wants to go for counseling.
Very good.
Yeah. So that's what she's actively working on. My son, I don't really give my kids a time to move out. I know that might not be traditional to a lot of people, but I'm not gonna push them out until I know that they're ready. I know that my kids have big ambitions, and
Good.
yeah, I don't see them trying to leech off of me and them. They want to have their own stuff anyway. So my son is working on having his own business. My daughter is working on having her own business. She does a lot of behind the scenes stuff and marketing for some of the clients that we have.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they're gonna do well. I have high expectations for them. It'd be shocking to them because they don't be thinking that they can do certain things.
Right.
And I'd be like, you got it. And I know they'd be looking at me like, how can you be so sure? Because I used to always think that with my grandparents and my dad, like how can you be so sure I got it? Like what signs are you looking at that I don't see? But that was always right. That was always right, man. So that's how I feel about my kids. I think, they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right.
Well, you used a word that's very valuable, and you instilled the purpose of ambition into those kids
For sure.
because you live ambitiously.
Yeah.
And I would endeavor to guess that your wife also
Definitely.
is a very ambitious lady.
Definitely.
And the fact that you guys have exampled that in front of them,
Yeah.
they definitely are gonna make something of themselves from that value.
Yeah.
So I commend you for that.
Thank you.
That is amazing.
Let's start a little phase here in our talk about facing some of the challenges of growth. So, in your industry that you've pretty much built from scratch,
Yeah.
I mean, you probably can look back and see little incarnations along the way, but here you are now.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the bigger challenges in to you, either to you personally or to your business as a whole?
Now or
Yeah.
on the road to now?
Both. You can lead up to now, and then these are the things I kind of have to deal with.
Man, so all right. So to me, I have such a huge faith in God that challenges not really challenges. It's just trials, and it's a learning experience. So I never really look at anything as challenging. Really,
Okay.
I hope that makes sense, right? So
You look at it as opportunity.
it's opportunity, and I just feel like you go through certain things in life so you can grow, and at that growing point, that's where you're going to meet your challenges, right? But it's never a deterrent because it's something for you to grow through.
That's right.
So it's like making it from high school and now you're in college. Yeah, it's a little harder. You got different set of challenges, but it's not for you to quit. It's for you to go through. It's trying to take you to another level. So I look at life like that. It's like, challenges is just something to grow through. That's all, man. But to answer your question, I started out as a DJ, and I would sell mixtapes and stuff, man. And at one point in time, I had 7 stores in Beaumont that was buying my mixtapes.
Go ahead.
Wow.
2 stores in Baytown, 1 store in Houston, and another store in Lake Charles. And all of a sudden, the CD game just goes away. Now I got to do something. And DJ Mann TV was born. I decided to take what I was doing and just put it on the internet. And we got away from the music and dealt more with original content. At first, we started out with interviews of artists, and kind of like what people like DJ Vlad and Say Cheese, things that they do where they interview big artists and stuff. Well, we was doing it, man, way back in 2008, 2009. We was talking to these artists because we was doing music, so we was around them. And I just kind of took that and put it on the internet.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what I noticed is, so let me kind of backtrack. So like I said, I was doing that around 2008, 2009, but I was putting no business into it. I wasn't thinking business wise at all. Back then, I was just strictly into, I was hustling, to be honest with you. I was hustling, and music was really just a cover up for me. I really didn't have a passion for I didn't like performing. I loved the art of composing music, but that was about it. So I was doing that in 2008, 2009, and people started wanting to. We started packaging our DVDs with the CDs to sell the mixtape and the DVD. Well, people started wanting to put their businesses on the DVD as ads. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I was charging people, charging people $75 to put their ads on the DVD, and I would take that all across I-10, right? So we did that. Then I started charging artists to even be on the DVD because they're gonna be on there with some big name artists.
Right.
So we did that. So I was making money from that. So before I even put the CD out, I hadn't already made my money back. Then the stores, it was just an extra plus, and we were still selling hand in hand too. So the CD game was lovely for me, but I took that and put that on the internet. So I sustained business from living off of ad revenue before ad revenue was even a thing. It's like, let's just make my own ad revenue. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is. Yeah,
Well,
well, that's quite the pivot, though, too.
Yeah.
From like you said, one day we wake up and the CD game is gone.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Yeah. All of a sudden, cars started not having CD players.
yeah, right. All these things that you guys have mastered,
Yeah.
in your, in building your business, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden now I'm gonna have to kind of reinvent a little bit,
Yeah.
and but I appreciate the faith of that you brought it through that, though,
Yeah.
to say, you know what, it's not going to fail because he's not going to let me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
what's this going to look like?
What it's gonna look like?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna look like,
Yeah.
but here we go.
And here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
And you've already previously in our talk this morning, we've already given credit to the community around you, mostly family. And I'm sure some good people that you were working with.
Well, man, like I was telling Rob this morning, man, that's kind of been my claim to fame. It's not like when it comes to video production, man. I feel like there's a few people out there that has better quality than I have. But I think what separates us is creativity and the genuineness, the genuineness, I guess not the pride, but I just love being able to help others.
Yes.
Right. I love being able to give opportunities because I was never given the opportunity. So I provide that for others, and I do it, from a genuine place. And I think people appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah. So, I think that's what rates us from others, man. We really try to give back. Like, this is another story I want to share with y'all. So I had a client, I'm not going to say his name, but I had a client that I was doing some marketing for. And the guy, I don't know, God just put on my heart one day to do some marketing for him for free for the month. And I'm like, all right. So I went to him and I'm like, hey, bro, I say, man, how about you let me do the marketing for you? Like, you don't even have to pay. I'll take care of it this month on me. He was like, bet. So I'm like, all right, cool. So the next month, I ended up needing another vehicle. And the same guy, I was short on the down payment. The same guy was able to put me in a vehicle minus the down payment. And it's nobody but God because of obedience, right? Being obedient to God. I didn't know that the guy actually needed that. He was going through a financial time and he needed that type of help.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Right.
But God always make a way for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So he blessed me to be a blessing to him. And in return, I got blessed. And just 30 days later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a great story.
Yeah.
That is a testament as we're talking to an audience of a variety. There's
sure.
folks our age range, but then there's young people too.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and maybe we were all a little bit like this when we were younger, but it seems as though that we do have more of a self-serving society at below a certain age.
Yeah.
And I know that all three of us try to influence younger folks to say, no, just be generous, be available, be kind. It's okay to sell your product, sell your time and service, but be generous when you can.
Yeah.
And it's not that, I'm doing somebody a favor, I want to remind them later. You're just putting that out there.
Yeah.
You're putting that presence out there.
Sowing seeds.
Yeah, sowing seeds. And I mean, there's a perfect example. In less than a month,
You're less than a month.
God said, I'm going to flip that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it came right back. How about that?
Yeah.
That's an excellent story.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
For sure.
That's amazing. So I've heard some amazing messaging from you throughout this whole thing. There's a great big theme to your life.
Yeah.
And it appears that you have big faith.
Yeah.
Big
I try.
faith.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just curious if you could put a message out there to the youth in our culture, in our community, and if you could give them a message to attempt to inspire them. And when I say youth, I mean those that are, let's say, 25 and under.
Yeah.
Because I consider them to be youthful.
Yeah.
Young adults, and then down all the way down to kids.
Yeah.
Based on your experience, you've been through a lot.
Yeah.
You've had not the perfect past.
Mm-hmm.
Not the perfect life all the way up, but your journey brought you to where you are.
Yes.
Through your faith.
Yes.
What message might you give them?
Man, I would tell the youth to at the moment of life that you're in, you're gonna have to endure some things. But keep faith in God. Understand that tomorrow is gonna be better. It's gonna be a brighter tomorrow, and that might not be 24 hours from now, but the future is not what the present look like. Through hard work, keeping God first, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just don't lose faith in God. Understanding that that's not the typical or the most common thing to do. The most what would you call it? The most popular. That's the word I'm looking for. That's not the most popular thing to do nowadays because, like you said, we live in a self-serving society right now. But all that stuff is gonna fade. It's all propped up on nothing. God is a sure foundation, and if you keep Him first, He will sustain you. That's guaranteed.
Well, I'm going to circle back to something, okay? So I hope your parents get to hear this.
Okay.
I hope they do. I hope they see this, hear this. I hope is your grandfather still alive?
Unfortunately, he's not.
Okay.
He's not.
So he's hearing this right now,
For sure.
regardless. So what I'm hoping is that they hear. Remember earlier you said you don't know why they told you they believed in you.
Yeah.
They told you everything was going to be okay, but that's why. They were working through the process of instilling these values and principles into you. So they knew that investment, those seeds that they've been planting, were going to come to harvest.
Yeah, you're right.
And this is the harvest for them. And I hope that they see they did good works with you.
For sure.
So that's, as a parent,
Yeah.
that would bless me beyond any measure to know that my kids had that investment come to fruition.
I appreciate it.
So congratulations
Thank you.
on doing that for your parents. That's beautiful. So I'm going to ask you a loaded question.
Okay, talk to me.
Are you a success?
I believe so. I believe so. I think it all depends on what you call success. In my life, I believe that I'm headed towards success. I believe that I don't think you can truly be successful until the end. And right now we're not at the end. We're still in the fight. So, we still got children to raise. We still got goals to accomplish. We still got to please God. And until that's done in total, like, you're still in the fight. So I don't feel like you can be successful until that it's over, until the mission is complete, because you can still drop the ball.
Well, what if the fact that you're still in the fight is a part of the reason you're successful?
Yeah.
That is the definition of being successful, is staying in the fight.
Yes.
Irrespective of your season, irrespective of your position,
Yeah.
irrespective of the circumstances that surround you,
Yeah.
you continue to fight. So I'm going to tell you from me personally, and I'll bet from Chuck too, and probably from our whole audience out there, you're a success, my friend.
I appreciate it, brother.
So I love the definition you gave.
Yeah.
I appreciate your perspective, the way you see yourself. It's very humble, but you are a success.
Thank you.
Own that.
Yes,
Okay. So you've answered so many of our normal questions just in your very nature of telling the story of you. Okay. So I'm very impressed. You're very thorough. Chuck, you got anything you'd like to ask or add?
Yeah. This is kind of open-ended a little bit.
For sure.
But where do you find yourself? Where do you go to grow? And maybe a variety of different resources you pick from, and because I'm curious where you go to keep growing.
It's a great question.
So what I do is I steal away a lot.
Explain that.
So I get away from everything. A lot of times, man, if the house, I have my little corner, and my wife and kids know when I'm there, there's nothing there but a desk and some books and a light. That's it. And it gives me something to kind of ponder on, kind of sit and dwell on and sit with, and just take in. So I read a lot. And I spend a lot of time, talking to God about stuff. That's where I grow.
Thinking, meditating,
Yeah,
slowing things down.
yeah,
How easy is it not to do that in our world that we live in with
Yeah.
information flying at us from every direction instantly all the time? We live in a completely microwave age.
Yeah.
Social media, 24-hour, every minute news cycle, everything fast all the time.
yeah.
I consider that to be an amazing success attribute that you've learned how to slow time down
Yeah.
so that you could build yourself.
Man, look, let me tell y'all. I really feel like what it comes from is, like I said, I feel like my wife came to save my life. Man, I was living a very different life, so everything was full speed. So to kind of slow down and have some peace of mind, that's a blessing for me.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So a lot of things that people stress over, I don't, because when I look at what I earn with my thinking and my actions, I probably shouldn't be here, but God blessed me to be here. So it's not that serious to be stressing over nothing, because if He took care of me then, He'll take care of me now. So it's like, it's okay.
Here comes
Yeah.
that faith again.
Yeah, it's okay.
That faith.
Yeah. So I kind of hate to keep going back to say, I don't be trying to make everything too spiritual.
No, I agree with what you
But
say.
that's my way. That's my thing. That's all I have is. I go to God for everything. You feel me? So I read a lot, go to God for everything, and man, I steal away a lot. But I always make time for wife and kids. But I steal away a lot, even in the midst of like, we could be having a business dinner with like some big potential clients, right? Man, you probably won't hear from me for about an hour until, because I'm gonna go still away, talk to God,
Be a meditation.
Yeah, and man, almost every time when I get there, He gonna give me the right words to say and how to say it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yep. That to me is ideal, because really anybody in our audience, but I just keep coming back to the young people who, there's so much about life that they have not fully traversed. They just keep running into problems, but they haven't had a lot of our experience to realize they will get through those.
yeah,
So to hear these, hey, it's okay, steal away a little time.
Yeah.
Talk to God and then meditate.
Yeah.
Meaning, read, listen, because that message is in there.
yeah.
But man, you got to open yourself up to it. And that's what I hear you doing consistently.
So, man, I had, my mother used to tell me to read the Bible for about probably like 2 years. She'd be like, "Have you read your Bible?" And I grew up in church, but I was like, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. I just would not do it. And the reason why is because I could never understand the Bible. And I don't care how much I tried to read it, I couldn't understand it. So one day I decided, I'm like, man, I'm just gonna just give it a shot. So I opened up the Bible and I'm like, the first thing I come across is what I'm gonna read. Now, this is what got me, because I was going through this phase of life where I guess I didn't know I was looking for something, right? But I was reading a lot of self-improvement books. I started reading John C. Maxwell a lot,
yeah.
Robert Greene.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm reading these books. Now we go back to me opening up the Bible. The first thing I read is, the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. And it just blew my mind, because I got it. I'm out here reading everything else, and the answers is right here in the Bible that my mama been telling me to read for the last 2 years. And it's like, why go to everything else when they getting that knowledge from the Bible too?
Isn't that fascinating?
Yes.
It's fascinating to me, like what you're saying. The Bible is a scientific book.
Yeah.
It is not some mystical,
Yeah.
super spiritual thing. If you read it, it's very practical.
Yeah, it is.
and sometimes it hits you over the head, just like what you said.
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. So ever since then, man, I've just been fascinated with reading the Bible, and that kind of brought me to other stuff. Went back to John C. Maxwell, Robert Greene, then back to the Bible, and in the process of doing that, I steal away without knowing.
Yeah.
It's not even me trying. It's really just me just learning and just, like I say, pondering and allowing these things to like just sit with me. And before you know it, man, 2 hours have passed. Yeah.
You were building a practice of self-development,
And didn't even know it.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's the work of
Yeah.
God in your life. That's
Definitely.
beautiful.
Definitely.
So I've got 2 questions, and we're drawing to a close now. You've done amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
First of all, do you have any regrets looking back over your life?
I don't really have any regrets, but let me share this with you. It was a point in time where I was running a security team, and there was a guy on the team. He was not built for security.
Okay.
He did something to violate, and he had to pay the price by fighting with a guy, or he was going to have to fight the whole security team. So the guy he was fighting, it was definitely unmatched. And me and him used to talk all the time because he just didn't fit in with everybody else. He was way over his head. And in the fight, he getting punched on, and he looks over at me like, he gave me this look like, man, you gonna let this happen? Because I had the power to stop it, but I couldn't, because this is how we keep order in what we're doing.
Right.
And for the longest, for years, that sat with me. I could just picture how he would look at me with this fear and hopelessness and wanting.
He wanted you to be a savior.
And I never stepped in. And it didn't bother me at the time, but the more I grew and learned, the more that image would come back to me. But show you this. We met one day at Walmart, and I'll go to him to apologize about it. So we talking, and I'm telling him how I'm in church. He's like, bro, I'm in church too. So he was telling me after that incident happened, he got in church.
Right.
And been in church ever since. So it's not really a regret. Some things just have to happen for us to get to the next level in life. That might have been a wake-up call for him.
Right. A turning point for both of you.
Yeah, exactly.
It was for you to build compassion.
Yes.
And for him
Yeah.
to get his life right.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's definitely what it was. You hit the nail on the head, because before then I had none. I had no compassion. It was these are the rules we live by, and that's that. And then after that, it just would not leave me alone. I'm like, man, and that's where purpose comes from, because I'm like, I got to give back. I got to do something different, So yeah, man, you helped me out with those.
well,
It's like we all have to have a more than singular, a multitude of these these broken or breakdown moments.
Yeah.
And our heart's got to be broken, and maybe literally broke. We're almost at a bankrupt, and it almost has to happen.
Yes.
So that we don't slip into complacency.
Yeah.
And it kind of like regenerates. So obviously, in both of you men, at some point, some level of brokenness, and it regenerated you guys to go to even greater heights.
Yeah.
Which might not have happened, without, and in his case, sadly, a literal beat down, which is not good. And we use the word regret for a reason, because there's a difference between guilts and regrets. Guilts are punishable, but regrets are remediable. So from there, you started finding some level of remedy.
Exactly.
Not just a literal apology, just your own personal philosophy, how I'm going to live my life, and my pursuits, be it faith or other characters that you brought in, So, wow, that's an interesting story. Yeah. It stuck with you,
it did.
But it obviously turned into good reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got a question for you that I ask every guest.
Okay.
And it's my favorite question.
Okay.
So if you could go back in time to your younger self,
wow,
Okay. Let's say to about 17 years old. That's a critical age in a young man's life. But you could choose any age between there and 25 ish. But if you could go back to your younger self and whisper in your own ear and give yourself some advice,
Yeah.
what would it be?
Man, this is a crazy question for me, because this is a question that I often ask people. I often ask people this question, and it's actually what made me start mentoring. So my answer for this is simple, man. I would go back and tell my younger self kind of the same thing, kind of the same advice I gave earlier. Things is not what they look like, and greatness is ahead. You know, you don't have to settle for less. Um, you know, you don't have to adapt to the world around you. You are the difference. You know, you are the difference. Stop trying to fit in when you're made to stand out. And that's for everybody, because we are all made to stand out. We don't have to fit in to what society tells us we should be, right? Find your purpose and pursue that. Uh, that's biblical too. The Bible says, conform not to the ways of the world. So you don't have to do what the world is telling you is cool and what you should be doing. Find your purpose and pursue that.
Now, and we didn't give him that script, everybody. He just said, "Pursue your purpose."
Wow,
That's beautiful right
fact.
there.
That is a
It's
fact.
not like
That
it's
is-
postered all over
I
the
know,
place.
right?
Right. So, did you have something you want to say?
No, that was. Thank you for that response.
So earlier, when we started, you gave everybody a way to get in touch with you to utilize your business.
Yes.
But what I'd like to do is, if there's anything that you'd like to raise awareness about, or any other things that you're doing currently that you'd like people to know about, I know you got a lot of activities in your life. I've heard some of the things you talk about. Is there anything you want to tell everybody about, or make them aware of?
Man, so every Wednesday we mentor the youth. Man, we have some young guys that come in, and we spend time with them, try to give them resources, try to give them some inspiration and motivation. We do it every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Certino's Cafe. Man, if you know a young kid that's looking for a group of individuals that's moving forward in positivity, you know, and just looking for something to do during the summertime or anything, man, you know, bring them by. Or if you want to come by and be a help, we could use the help, man. But we'll be at Certino's Cafe, 7 p.m. It's the One Nation organization. We're brand new, but man, we've been doing some great things, man. The Unity Conference we just had was awesome. I appreciate you for coming by.
Well, I appreciate you for putting it
Yeah.
on.
And last thing is we got the Golden Triangle Seminoles, which I'm the VP of. You know, that it's a semi-pro football team, but I tell people all the time, football is a byproduct of who we are and what we do. We're really about giving back to the community. We're about developing these young men into being grown men, productive citizens of society. So be looking out for the Golden Triangle Seminoles. You can find the Facebook page at Golden Triangle Seminoles, and man, come out and support, man. It's all for a good cause. We all in giving back, and we produce a good product on the field. That's awesome.
Where and when do you guys play?
Our season starts in March. It just ended. We just got a ring.
Oh, yeah.
Back-to-back champions is what we are. So shout out to my Golden Triangle Seminoles. We play at the Salvation Army.
Okay.
But we're eyeing Lamar. We're trying to get that
yeah.
field, man. We need some room for growth. But
So how do people get tickets? Come see, or how does that work?
Well, just go to the Golden Triangle Seminoles page. The information to be there. If there's a lack of information, you can definitely send a message, and we can get you whatever you need. We don't have any season passes, but you can purchase tickets on the website. It's a link on the Facebook page also.
Okay, very good. Very good. So are there any last things that you'd like to leave our audience with?
Man, that's it, man. Believe it or not, I'm really a person of little words, man. I don't really be having I really don't even self-promote a lot. So, you know, just follow DJ Mann TV, man. Stay up to date with what we have going on, because we do have a lot of good shows that we produce, man. So everything from food reviews to the podcast is very insightful. So our podcast on Mondays and Thursdays are live podcasts, not live on Facebook, but it's performed or done before a live audience. And Mondays we're at Fuma Dubai, and we have an interactive audience so that they can come on and ask questions, talk about whatever. And on Thursdays we have Vibing with Bree, and that's more geared toward a younger audience. It's more culture based, so we talk about things from like hip hop and things that's going on in I guess that culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Chuck, have you anything you'd like to add or ask?
Not particularly, but thank you. Appreciate everything that you brought to us this morning, brought to our audience, and hopefully, if this stuff gets redisseminated in some of your circles, hopefully our questions have promoted information that I think all three of us as men want to make sure that we get out there. And you are a living embodiment of that, and it is good to have met you recently and get to know you. Look forward to all the cool things you're going to be putting out there in the world, making a difference.
For sure, man.
So, thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, everybody out there, thank you again for joining us again for another episode of Pursuit of Purpose. Make sure you check out DJ Mann TV and all of his pursuits. Again, I'm Robbie.
I'm Chuck.
And this is
DJ Mann.
Y'all have a great day, and thank you for allowing us to become a part of the pursuit of your purpose.